Barry Mori has Katayama to worry about by the looks of it, or is he about to be lapped by Alessandro Lucarelli? Looking at the helmet, it looks like it's the latter. Mori really not having a great race at all, holding around an 11th while his teammate is on the verge of grabbing a heroic podium position. Meanwhile, Austin van Nieuwenhuizen, for the first time experiencing the pains of lapping a gilet, or perhaps for the second or even third time today, but certainly this weekend the first time he's ever seen one of those on the same track as him during a race. A rare sight indeed. Well, only 2 laps down at the moment, at least on the same page as Marco Bizzarri and Barry Mori. At least, yes, that they are only sucking as much as the cars around them, rather than more so. I suppose every little victory counts when you have been locked out of the races for such a long time. With everyone taking their time, pacing themselves, making sure they don't make any mistakes, seems like a good time to review and recap what's happened so far. We lost both Vauclair Grand Prix engineering cars, both Vauclair Renaults, at the first lap. Both of them gone, both of them with driver errors. An unbelievable, tragic start to the race for the Vauclair team. Also, Alberto Cara, championship protagonist, gone with suspension failure. Not really anything he could have done about that. It just failed on him in the braking zone, as Daniel Melville always gets pushed into the wall there by Terry Hawkin. Terry Hawkin getting a little aggressive with the traffic, because it's not the first time he's done that. He did something similar trying to get past Marco Bizzarri. So a little bit forceful there from Hawkin, maybe slightly unnecessary on his part, although with that gap continuing to fall, perhaps he does feel the need to be a little more assertive and make sure he doesn't lose too much time between now and the end of the race. Anyway, as I was saying, again, another championship contender, potentially Mark Dagnall, also lost early in the race as he made that driver error and threw it in the entry to the pit wall, that exact wall there we're just passing right now. Really not many protagonists for the championship left, but that man, Terry Hawkin, leading the race, leading the championship, looks very good for him at the moment, with those potential title rivals all having a terrible day at the office. None of the cars around him at all in the title fight, so at the moment, assuming Fusion can make it to the end, a very good day for him indeed. Things looking reasonably calm at the moment, although I just say that and Melville puts it in the wall. Ah, my goodness, Yamaha looked so good for an excellent result, and Melville has just thrown it away. He was not under any pressure at all. He was all alone for third position. He was just absolutely fine, and he's gone and thrown it in the wall like so many before him. What a waste from Daniel Melville. He looked like a hero last time out before his car failed on him. Again, he looked like finally the hero Yamaha needed, but he's gone and thrown away an excellent result. Excellent chance for Yamaha to finally make their mark in the championship. They're on 0 points so far this season, and it looked like they might score 5 valuable points. Alas, it was not to be. Trying to figure out why our picture's not quite up to standard at the moment. Let's see if we can get the picture back for you. But again, unbelievable stuff there from the Yamaha. It looked so good for them. He was doing such an excellent job as well. He looked completely calm and composed. I have no idea what brought that mistake on, because he was not under any pressure at all for position. Perhaps maybe spending too much time looking at the gap from himself to Nicola in 7th. So, to be fair, it looked like he was stalling a little bit. That strategy put him into traffic and he wasn't going particularly quickly, Nicola. So I'm not quite sure what made him compelled to push so hard. We do have the picture in the back now, thankfully, and we are resuming with Fredo Istolio. Still now up to 5th place thanks to all of those different retirements, and Nicola, even if the strategy doesn't pan out for him, is already back into the points, so he'll at least get something from this afternoon, even if the one stopper doesn't work out for him. That really puts paid to Yamaha's chances of a race win today. sorry, not a race win, the points. With Mori again down in 11th and not looking particularly racy at all. What the hell is wrong with the world feed at the moment? It's just slowed down to a crawl with very little explanation as to why. Let me take a look at my parameters. Well, this is far from ideal. Again, looks like my internet is beginning to shit itself, unfortunately. Let's see if I can switch networks and get a connection back on track. Far from ideal. I think I'm going to have to switch networks. Okay, hopefully that network switch will have cleaned things up now. And then there were 12. Tell you what, Venturi are getting quite close now to a double point score. Both cars still running, which is something of a feat for them given how few finishes they've managed so far this season. Lucarelli again solid enough in 4th, although he will have to watch out for Felipe Nicola behind as he is on that one stop compared to Lucarelli's 2-stopper. But Shinobu Kariyama now up to 8th thanks to being solid and dependable, and albeit not particularly fast, but now in 8th place and ready to capitalise on any other mistakes by those further up the field. Speaking of further up the field, Bastian van Nieuwenhuizen comes in for his final stop of the afternoon. He's got a reasonably big gap to the guys behind, so it will be interesting to see whether Jean-Luc Schiller can come out in front of him or not. Still has a stop to go himself, so even if he does take the position, it won't last particularly long. Shinobu Kariyama has now come in for her final stop of the afternoon as well. We were just talking about how there was a potential for a double point score if events transpired in their favour. Speaking of pit stops, there goes Jean-Luc Schiller, only a lap later after Van Nieuwenhuizen stop, so nothing to worry about for the Dutchman in that case. And that means Alessandro Lucarelli finds himself temporarily restored to the podium places, given he started on the front row of the grid. Mistolio as well, making his final stop. Lots of activity in pit lane as the two stoppers make their final stops of the day. We should very quickly see what we expect the final order to be after this cycle of pit stops. Not long to go now to understand how the race is going to unfold. Boivolov also comes in for his stop. On board with the race leader, Terry Hawkin. Not much for him to do now. Clear lead, 26 seconds up the road. He just has to bring the car home now. Jean-Luc Schiller getting dangerously close to running wide and into the fence there. He's got to make sure he doesn't make any mistakes, and maybe he'll have a shot at a podium if things work out in his favour, of course. What the hell is wrong with my feed? This is getting very tiresome. Gonna have to have a word with our internet supplier. Marco Bizzarri, another one, making his final stop of the afternoon. Not really much for him to compete for at the moment. Down in 10th place, now 11th because of that stop. As we go back to Terry Hawkin. Well, for fuck's sake! Well, go fuck yourself, Talk. This is an absolute farce. This is an absolute farce. I am going to have to go down to England, get a shotgun and pop a cap in one of these fucking assholes' heads, because this is unacceptable. I don't pay for fibre to get this fucking bullshit dial-up NBN Tone Abbott nonsense. I mean, where the fuck am I? Australia? I shouldn't have to live with this. Oh, aye, loss. This is becoming an absolute joke. I have no idea what's going on at this point. Fastest lap of the race there from Terry Hawkin. Not much of a surprise. He does have the best package in the field. And finally stretching his legs a little bit. This is Marco Pizzari lining up one of the... In fact, I think that might be a pass for position an attempt there for 11th place, battling Mori. Albeit the last position, or second last position rather, but at least Pizzari trying to show himself being a little competitive and fighting tooth and nail for that irrelevant 11th place. Aurelian Mole is up to 10th thanks to that actually, although I imagine he still has a stop left to go. And he is attempting an he's made it work! Aurelian Mole de Chile has overtaken someone! Well, that is a turn up for the books! He's gone straight past one of the Simpsons, not sure which one, because of course he's not on the same lap as either of them, but he's actually overtaken a faster car! That I was not expecting to see today. That looks loose! That front left looks very loose. It looks like it's going to fall off. Is Hawkins' day done? Hawkins finished. He's slowing down. The wheel's gone. He can't keep going. He can't make it to the pits. Terry Hawkins, the race leader, is gone. Well. That is quite a turn up for the books. Suddenly the race is wide open. Van Nieuwenhuizen re-inherits the lead he lost thanks to a mistake. And suddenly, anyone could win this. You know, with how bad attrition has been, with how many mistakes we've had, yes, Van Nieuwenhuizen may have a 20-second lead, and yes, the pit stop phase may be over now, but it's really, this just goes to show it really is anyone's game to win. I am absolutely sick of the world feed dying on me like this. It's an absolute shambles. But there we go. Bastian Van Nieuwenhuizen resumes the lead of the race for Kellerup. What a start to life in Auto Reject World Series it's been for the half Dutch, half French outfit. They've already been on the podium this season, multiple times in fact. Well, I believe multiple times, once at least with Alessandro Lucarelli, who is now in 4th position for the Venturi team, having left halfway through and allowing Van Nieuwenhuizen to take the seat. This would be an amazing, and certainly vindicate the move from Bastian Van Nieuwenhuizen to leave Gaudier halfway through the year and head to the Danish team. Now he's just got to bring the car to the end. And the Kellerup has been at least reasonably reliable, so there is a decent chance he's going to get that car all the way to the end, as long as he keeps the car on the island, of course, because we saw him make that mistake earlier, and he's got to be careful not to repeat himself. Is that Boivolov touching the wall? I think Boivolov may have just put it in the fence. And again, the world feed picks out an awful time to stop working, because I do think that sounded like Boivolov running into the barrier, and I think his day might be over. Not that I know, because it's not showing me. Yeah, a bit of twitching there, but I think he might have just gotten away with it. Yeah, a little overreaction on my part. It sounded like he'd hit the wall, and I think he might have scraped it a little bit, but he lives for another day at the moment. I'll tell you what though, that moves Alessandro Lucarelli up to 3rd position. The gap's a bit too big though, 13 seconds in 2nd place. He's got fresher tyres than Philippe Nicolau, but the gap, given the amount of laps we have left, it's just not going to be enough. He's going to have to, even if he makes up half a second a lap. That is, yeah, if he can make up half a second a lap, he's got half a